This week, me and her are headed to Lodgepole Campground. Yeah, this one's been on the radar for about a year now, and we finally get to go check it out. So why don't y'all hop in and come go with us. It's going to be a great weekend.
Chairs are on top of them so it doesn't blow away.
All right, so funny story. The weather said it was going to rain all weekend. I didn't believe it. You know, I think I would still rather be doing this and sitting in the apartment, that's for sure. But yeah, looking at the weather, it's not supposed to stop. It's supposed to do this all the way until we leave. Well, either way, I got some new stuff I wanted to show you that we've kind of improved or upgraded since the last time. Oh, look at that. Good deal. Looks like the rain's going to hold off for a minute, so I thought I'd come out and show you the campsite. You know, up here in Colorado, if you don't schedule your campgrounds out 6 months, as soon as they drop, you're left with the scraps. And yeah, again, I think I scheduled this one 5 months out, and this was the last one left. Yeah, there's 3 campgrounds along this road right here, and every single one of them are full. I was just thinking maybe this rain would deter some people, but it's full. We're the last ones in. Well, the good news is, if it rains, I'll be in the camper all weekend. If it don't, there's some real nice little beaver ponds down there they said are just full of fish. I brought the right equipment this time. This campground doesn't sit too far from that video right there we were at. Man, we got ate alive by mosquitoes. And so I don't know exactly what the elevation is here, but as soon as I find out, I'll put it right there. I know we've been under a lot of fire danger this last few weeks, and they were saying absolutely no fires or campfires or anything like that. It has to be propane. So hopefully this rain will let that up a little bit and we can actually cook out on the BioLite this weekend. I don't know. Sure is pretty here though, I can tell you that. I love all these trees. Man, the air is just so clear and clean right now. Golly. I mean, I can breathe. It's amazing. Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend, no matter what happens. Ooh, it has gotten down into the 50s, and I sure am glad I brought a coat with me. I don't have it on yet, but I guarantee it'll be on in the morning. We're flirting with going on a bike ride, but man, I mean, it could just start dumping at any minute, but I'm afraid that's going to be the story of the weekend. So, I mean, we did bring rain jackets too, so, I mean, it's not like we're going to melt, right? Yeah, it just don't look pretty. I was hoping to go scope out some of those fishing holes, those beaver ponds they call them up here. I brought a mini fly rod with me this time, and I also have some spoons and little mini spoons and things like that I was going to throw with the spinner. Just depends on the water, I guess. If it's running, I'll use that little fly rod. If it's not, I'll throw that spin rod out. That's one of the reasons this campground's been on my radar for about a year. I've been really wanting to come up here and try these beaver ponds. People say they're phenomenal. Now, if you've seen that video last week, that one right there, I mean, we hooked on, but we could never get them ashore, but that's okay. I count that as a win, that's for sure. Also, there's about a 20 or 25 mile bike trail that takes you way back off over here on the side of the mountain. And we were really looking forward to that as well, but we'll just have to play it by ear. I mean, so there's a lot of stuff planned for this weekend, and hopefully we can get it all done. If not, may have to come back. Now, right up the road here, there's a couple more campgrounds, and there's a lake. It's called Lake Jefferson. And we're not close enough. I think it's another 3 or 4 more miles up that rough road, and I don't want to take the bikes that far, but on Sunday we may head up that way on our way out just to see what it looks like and try to book one of them campgrounds next year. You know, yesterday it was 108 in the Dallas area. I don't know what it is today down there, but I'm putting this coat on and I hope you are jealous. Whew. I don't know if this coat's gonna be big enough. Well, that pretty much answered our question. It's starting to rain again, so I think we're gonna keep the bikes tarped for the night, and I don't know. It's still early. I hate to just go in there and sit down and do nothing. All that's gonna do is just end up making me bored and hungry. Man, this place is gorgeous though. Golly, it's just gorgeous. I just wish the campsites were a little bit more further apart. It's starting to really come down now. I think we're gonna go ahead and head on in. Good Saturday morning. It's a chilly one, that's for sure. It rained off and on pretty much all night long, and it made some good sleeping weather, I can tell you that. Got a little cold there for a little while. Thought about turning the heater on, but didn't want to waste propane. Even though we have that 3,500 watt Predator generator, it'd been a lot easier to make coffee with that and that little Keurig we've got, but since everybody played nice last night and went to bed on time and didn't slam doors until 6:30 this morning, I thought I'd play nice too and just made coffee off the stove. Instead of firing up that generator and waking everybody up at 6 o'clock. Well, in between rain showers yesterday, we were able to run down here to the creek. No, I can't even do that. We ran down here to the river and kind of scoped it out, and there's a couple of real nice places I want to go to this morning. I brought my fly stuff with me. I think I'm going to use it down there. I didn't find the big beaver ponds they were talking about, but I did get to see some brook trout and things like that. So I'm gonna gear up and walk down there this morning and see what I can do. Again, no expectations. I don't care if I catch anything or not. Fishing in a mountain river, it's really all I need to do. And that coffee just seems so much better when it's cooked off the stove than it is at Carrick, that's for sure. Well, let's gear up. It's about to get evil. Man, I swear I just burned about 500 calories trying to get all this crap on while in that little camper. Whew. Man, it's gonna be pretty. First off, check out this little bitty pole. A few years ago, I was fortunate enough to buy out a whole, I guess, little building full of fly stuff that a older widower was trying to get rid of. She wanted to go to somebody that would use it, and so here we are. I ain't saying I'm any good at it, but at least I'm using it. Our campsite's just right on the edge of this little creek right here. Check this out. This place is gonna be awesome. I walked down here yesterday with my shoes and pants and just got completely soaked from all this grass. But instead of turning around, I had to keep pushing forward and ended up getting everything wet. So that's why I got my waders on right now. We're gonna get back in here where I saw those brook trout, and we're gonna see what I can do. Oh, did you see that? Man, that was close. Let's sit here and work this current just a little bit. It's the first time I've had a brook trout on my line. All right, we hooked up a couple of times there, and I think they got wise to me. I haven't got any more bites in the last 10 minutes. I mean, just a beautiful little area. We're gonna head downstream and see what we can find. So I don't know how we're gonna get there, but this is where I'm going. I might end up losing my religion trying to get there, but we'll see what happens. Looks like other people's gone this way, so I think we'll be okay. Hopefully we can come across a moose or an elk down here. They said there's a lot of elk sightings, and also said there's a tremendous amount of bear sightings through here, and I really don't want to come across a bear today, but if we do, we do. I had 3 or 4 bites right here. Man, it's great to feel the tug, but I think they wised up to my shenanigans pretty quick. These wild trout, they're not like Oklahoma trout. These guys they're hard to catch, at least for me. So I'm gonna move on down the river, see what we can come up with. This little area right here, there's brook trout all in here. But one of the things is, if I can see them, they can see me. And this sandy bottom like this, they're even more spookish, skittish, whatever. They didn't want what I was offering up, so we're gonna move on down. Looks like it's running pretty good down there. I'm gonna see if there's any place we can get in. If not, I'm gonna start heading back upstream. One of the problems that I'm facing here is my shadow. With the way the river is and the way the sun's setting, I'm having to maneuver around to get my shadow off the water. And every time I move, they get to see me, and I'm just trying real hard to minimize my movements and all that. I don't know if we can get over there or not. This looks pretty sketchy. Well, I got back in here, but still nothing. I'm about 3/4 of a mile from where we started off the road, and I think it's about as far back as I want to get. I'm gonna start heading back and hitting those little holes that I hit previously where I was getting some bites. This is some tough fishing right here. It's just so much easier to have a boat and just go out and do some crappie fishing and just have like 16 poles out off the bow of my boat and just use a trolling motor to go around brush piles. Man, it ain't as pretty as this, I can tell you that. Golly, nobody around. This is just awesome. I sure was hoping to at least land one brook trout in my life, but maybe next time, but we'll see what we can do on our way back. Oh my God, there is a huge moose right over there. Is that a moose? Maybe a big mule deer. I don't know if I can do this and zoom in or not. At least it's not a bear. I don't know if you can see that or not, but man, that's beautiful. I know these GoPros, when you zoom in, it doesn't give you that good a picture, but him just standing there staring at me like that, man. Yeah, that's a mule deer. I can see him better now since he stepped out. There he goes. Hold on, let's see if we can get a better picture. Well, even if it is blurry on here, you get the idea. If I was on Alone, you know, that TV show, I'd be stalking that sucker. Yeah, the wind shifted just now and he got a scent of me and hauled butt. Truly awesome, guys. You just don't see this in the city. That made me think, made me laugh. You know, the wife, she always makes fun of me because I can't find the ketchup in the refrigerator, but I can spot a set of horns 200 yards away behind a cedar tree in the shadow. That's funny right there. Anyway, I'm gonna try to make my way back without killing myself. There's a lot of sinkholes out here in this grass, and a few minutes ago I did step off into one, snuck up to my knee, and it took a minute to get out. So that's another reason I don't want to be this far back in here. So I'm gonna try to find my way back out of here. Well, that's that for this fishing trip. I think I'm gonna relax a few minutes before we get on the bikes and go around. My legs are shot. Man, that was some hard hiking, especially in waders. If I didn't have them waders on, man, I'd be soaked to the bone, that's for sure. But I think I'm gonna have some apples and peaches and yogurt for breakfast. And man, it's turned out to be a beautiful day. I just hope it holds. Y'all hang with us. This bike trail's supposed to be amazing.
Counting down the minutes till it's Tuesday. Another day back on my feet. I'm fighting every minute till the weekend, so I can live it up and do it all again and again. Friday we go dive, Saturday we ride, Sunday party, and let's call it a perfect weekend. Friday we go dive, Saturday we ride, Sunday party, and let's call it a perfect weekend. Wednesday, and I can't wait to get away. I'm counting down the minutes till it's Thursday. I'm holding on for one more day. I'm fighting every minute till the weekend, so I can live it up and do it all again and again. Friday we go dive, Saturday we ride, Sunday party, and let's call it a perfect weekend. Friday we go dive, Saturday we ride, Sunday party, and let's call it a perfect weekend.
That didn't look all that heavy, but it was. Good gosh. All right, down the trail we go.
Friday we go dive, Saturday we ride, Sunday party, and let's call it a perfect weekend.
We went as far as we could on this trail. There's some big trees laying over the road up here, and there's really no way to get around them. I mean, I guess if I was hiking I could, but I'm not gonna take this bike up into the woods and try to get around these big trees. So we're gonna turn around and go back. We're right at 2 miles back in here right now. And I know there's some more campgrounds further up the road. I think we're gonna go try to look at those and see if maybe we're gonna come back and stay in one of them. Other than that, man, this is a beautiful trail. I just wish it was longer. On Google, it showed it to go for miles and miles and miles, and I'm sure it does, but not with me. We were trying to make it up to the lake to show y'all what that looked like. I've never been there before, but we started running out of power. I was down to 1 bar and I still had half a mile of steep road to climb. And then I was afraid we were gonna have to go down and then climb back out. And that would have been all me then. You know, even though these are electric bikes, they're a little bit harder to pedal when you don't have electricity, and I just didn't want to chance it. So we're about 4 miles from camp right now, so we're gonna turn around and head back. It's pretty much downhill the whole way. Man, what a beautiful ride this has been. I'm glad y'all came along with me. It's almost lunchtime. We're gonna head back and get some lunch. All right, I was gonna give you a heads up. I'm gonna do some talking and storytelling, so if you fast forward through it, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I would. According to my calculations, I burnt probably, 50,000 calories. So I deserve one of these Bush NAs. I know they're empty calories, but that's okay. At least it ain't the real thing. Oh man, I tell you what, my legs are shot after that ride. I'm gonna cry about it because I'm on an electric bike, but no, until you run an electric bike, you don't understand. They don't gear down as far as normal bikes. So even when you're going uphill, especially with my big butt on it, I mean, it takes a lot of exertion to get up those hills, because it just ain't gonna pull you the whole way. And that washboard road was so rough, man. It would have knocked my dentures out if I'd have had any. My goodness, that was tough. Well, we have been blessed with a beautiful, beautiful morning. I almost didn't bring my bikes or my fishing gear because I figured it'd be raining all weekend, but I was like, shoot, I can fish in the rain. I'm okay with that. But I didn't want to ride a bike in the rain, and man, it is just beautiful right now. Speaking of which, funny story. So I play Call of Duty with my nephews and nieces down in Texas. It's one way that we're still able to talk and keep in touch. And I only do it a couple of nights a week, and especially if we're home on the weekend, maybe like an early Sunday morning or something, and keeps us all connected, you might say. It's kind of fun, I guess. Still video games and waste of life, but either way, I have fun doing it and connecting with them still, since we're all the way up here, 12 hours away. So one of the nephews was watching one of my videos, and he said, "Unc, you just don't have any expression when it comes to talking about the beauty and how pretty things are." I think he even said, "Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, it's so beautiful." Well, I don't think I do that, but anyway, Sean, here's my best acting impression. Oh my God. I just don't have the words. Oh, it's just so awesome. Oh, you've got to see this for yourself. Oh, it's amazing. Oh. Is that any better? Oh, that's funny right there. I don't care who you are. All joking aside, the 2 other campgrounds up the way here is called Aspen and Jefferson Creek. And we really, really liked Aspen, but Jefferson Creek was closer to all the beaver ponds up there that a lot of people are fishing at right now. So apparently there's fishing there. So next year we'll probably stay at one of those 2. And that puts us in bike range to get to the lake. There's a lot of trails around the lake that we can also go fishing, have a picnic and things like that. So we'll put that on the list for next year. Whew, I had to go sleeveless, it was getting hot. One thing I wanted to show you, if you watch that video right there, I talked about that jackery. We had a 300 watt jackery and it was going dead. Only gave the wife about 3 to 4 hours a night. And I kept talking about upgrading to a 500. And so we did. And we did an experiment there at the house, and it ended up, I think the next morning being only at about 2 or 3%. So we took it back and we upgraded to the 1000. So here's the 1000. Now the one thing the 1000 has that the other two didn't, it has a splitter on it to where you can actually hook in two 100-watt solar panels. And right now I only have one 100-watt solar panel. I'm getting about 60 watts right now from the sun, so I don't really need to plug this thing in. This is so big enough, it still had almost 60% left in it for overnight. So I think this is going to actually do what we need it to do for sure. But again, I also want to say that Jackery does not sponsor me. This is not an infomercial or anything like that. I buy this stuff on my own and just show you what works for me. That 500 would have worked, but you know, on days or weekends where it's going to be rain all weekend like we thought this one's going to be, there would have been no way to recharge it. So that's why we went ahead and went up a little bit more. Now this thing costs $800, but and the next step up is $1,200 or $1,300, and I don't think I want to go the next step up. It's just too much. You know, then you start getting into those big electric converter types and where it's stationary in the camper, and that may be something we look at in the future, but not anytime soon. But other than that, it's working great. This is what I call relaxing right here. I'm reading a book right now from Richard Rohr. It's called Breathing Underwater. Now it's a really amazing book. It's those who are ready to break negative patterns and experience greater internal freedom will find bold hope and transformation in this insightful book. Highly recommend it, you know, because we can never work on ourselves enough, that's for sure. Well, me and her has been in deep discussion this last 30 minutes, well, pretty much since we got here. We're gonna have to cut this weekend a little short. We've got some issues going on back in Texas that we need to get an update on, and we don't have any service here. So, in order for me to drive down and get service, and I've got to load everything up anyway. It's rocking on Saturday evening, and there's nothing we can really do about it down there. It's just, like I said, we don't have any kind of service up here. We don't even know what's going on, so probably shouldn't even came out this weekend, to be honest. But there's no reason to just sitting here just wringing my hands and then loading up first thing in the morning when we've done everything we wanted to do here this weekend. It sure was pretty, I can tell you that. Got some fishing in, got some bike riding in. The only thing we didn't do is any hiking, and we didn't plan on doing that anyway. Because of this bipolar weather, we just don't know when it's going to start downpouring or not. I mean, right now it looks like it can pour at any minute. So we were fixing to have to get everything put in the camper anyway, so ain't no reason to sit around in that all night. Next weekend we have nothing. We may end up going for a hike or something like that, or we may be in Texas, just don't know yet. And then after that, we're going to be in Belize for 10 or 12 days. So I may do like a 3-part series on that, I don't know. Just hope everything gets resolved before we leave to go down there. But I appreciate you hanging around this long, and it's been a real fun time. So if I don't see you on the trail, I guess I'll see you down the road.
Golden days drifting far away. Light is leaving town.